Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review of the brand new Huda Beauty Easy Bake Pressed Powder that was recently released. This is considered a kind of reformulation, as this Easy Bake and Snatch powder actually came out about 2 years ago, I want to say, and this was actually supposed to be the pressed version of the very popular, very famous loose setting powder. Now you guys know that I absolutely adore this. This is my favorite. This is my holy grail. This is my ride or die. I've used so many of these and I will continue to use it until I find something that I think is way better. As it currently stands, the closest I've come to an amazing product such as this is the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, which obviously costs half the price, but that's not why we're here today. So I wanted to actually compare the two. Now initially, and I had to remind myself because it has been a while, I do have this one, and even though it's got a slight dent in it, I did stop using it. Now at the time I did give this a 10 out of 10 in terms of its review, as it was described as a luminous matte pressed powder. But unfortunately the reason why I kind of stopped using it was because after about 10 hours it would start to break down on my face. I would start to look shiny. That luminous matte mix just did not work. The only base product I've come across that does luminous matte well is the Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation. No other brand that I have come across so far has been able to do that successfully. So obviously this did not become a very popular product, so they decided to go back to the board and reformulate it and create it into one that they have specifically called an airbrush matte pressed powder. So remember, the previous one was luminous matte. This one is described as airbrush matte. Now this retails at £32, and this one was, I believe, also £32, and this is £34. Now in terms of its weight, it is 8.5 grams, 0.29 ounces, and the previous Easy Bake one is exactly the same. This one is 20 grams. Now in terms of perspective, you will go through this a lot quicker because of the fact that it is loose and product tends to fly around, get everywhere. A lot of the time we end up using more of this than is necessary, whereas with a pressed powder, the amount of powder kick up is a lot more controlled and there's less wastage. Now this is what the packaging itself looks like. That red light you can see is my camera, so just try and ignore it. Comes in plastic packaging, and then you open it up and there is the product inside. In case I haven't mentioned yet, this is my shade in Banana Bread, which is my perfect brightening shade that I use on my face and under my eyes to set my concealer. And then there is a mirror on the top. Now I did find that this was quite bulky, and you can see in comparison this is a lot more purse handbag kind of friendly. Now one thing I do have to say is that this one, okay, so it came with the product and then you lifted it up and inside was a kind of silicone sponge, and in this instance they haven't given that. In fact, they're actually charging more if you want to buy the sponge separately, which I find quite cheeky. This was £32, this is £32. Why are we also not getting a sponge with this one? So altogether there are 8 shades. There should hopefully be something for everybody. This one is generally geared more towards light to medium skin tones. For reference, I have got light to medium skin tone with yellowy golden undertones. Now when it comes to the actual Banana Bread shade itself, I tend to use this to set my under eye area, as it gives me a brightening effect. I don't generally tend to use it on my face as much. Otherwise what happens with the rest of my face is, despite the fact that I've got light to medium skin tone, it can actually look like a slight white sheen over my face, which I don't like. But generally speaking, even if I do use this on my face, it's such a light dusting that it doesn't make that much of a difference. First off, I'm going to do what I always do and read off of their website to let you know what their claims are, show you a demo, and then I'll let you know what my thoughts are based off of their claims. It says, our first real pressed powder, airbrush made easy, a non-comedogenic fine pressed powder with 12-hour shine control for a non-caking airbrush matte finish, talc and fragrance free. A super fine, never cakey, long wearing pressed powder blurs, smooths and sets for a 12-hour airbrush matte finish. Sleek, portable and perfect to carry, apply or refresh on the go. Use with Huda Beauty's Easy Bake Marshmallow Sponge and Puff, in brackets sold separately, for easy touch-ups anywhere, anytime. It says, why we're obsessed. Airbrush made easy, easy to set, smooth and blur, 12-hour shine control, super fine, never cakey powder, sheer to buildable coverage, all over set or on the go touch-ups. Right, so that's what their claims are. Now in today's video, what you're going to see me doing is I'm actually going to be using 2 of Huda Beauty's concealers on my under eye, because there is no actual perfect brightening shade for me. Nougat is a little bit too light for me, and Graham Cracker is a little bit too warm for me. So when I mix them together on my under eye area, they actually work perfectly fine. That is the concealer that you're actually going to see on my face today. And then I'm going to be using the powder to set my face as well as tidy up my contour. So I've already got the concealer on my under eye area, and you can see that I'm using actually one of Huda Beauty's sponges, which I already had one of them fluffy ones. And I'm using it to set the concealer under my eyes. Then I am using it to lightly brush it all over my face to set my foundation, which I applied on my face previously. And then you can see I've also contoured my cheekbones as well as my nose. And then I'm just using the Easy Bake powder to tidy up my contour so that everything looks neat and tidy. And then obviously you can see the finished look once I've got all my makeup on top afterwards. So one of the issues that I had with this was that even though it was called banana bread, it was quite obvious even from looking at it that the shade was darker than the loose setting powder. So this is the old one and this is the new one. You can see that the new one is definitely a ditto copy of the loose setting powder, whereas this one was a lot warmer in color. And I'd say that that was definitely one of the reasons I kind of stopped using this as well, because it just didn't sit right on my skin tone. If I needed something brightening under my eyes or I needed to set something on my face, I needed to be as close as a match as possible, and that one just made me look slightly yellowy. So this is the loose powder, and then this is the pressed powder. I'm not gonna lie, it's again quite obvious that the colors are not the same. I don't know why they keep doing this with their powders. They can't be consistent with the colors. Now don't get me wrong, I don't hate this because it does actually work with my skin tone, but that's kind of not the point, especially for those people that are very happy with the way this color is and will assume that it is exactly the same with that one. And here you can very clearly see it isn't. Now let's get into what they say about this. So it is their first ever real pressed powder. Well, it's not the first real pressed powder because this is. Now what they say about this is that it is super fine in texture. I would agree that it is, because when you do touch it, it is very soft to the touch and it does not kick up a lot of powder at all, but it is lovely and soft to the touch. It feels like talc, even though it is talc free. Never cakey, blurs and smooths. I would say that it definitely does blur my skin, it smooths my skin. When you initially apply it, like how I have now, my skin feels quite soft. Now bear in mind I'm saying quite soft and not velvety soft, because it does not give a velvety soft finish in my opinion. However, they don't claim that it does, but then that's just more a term for myself. Now bear something in mind, the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder is what I use generally on a day-to-day basis and have done for quite some time, and that leaves a velvety soft finish that lasts throughout the day. This as well leaves a velvety soft finish that lasts throughout the day. This leaves a soft finish but is definitely not velvety soft. However, they have said that it blurs. Yes, it does. Smooths. Yes, it does. Airbrush matte finish. Yes, to begin with, I do look airbrushed and matte to begin with. Sheer to buildable coverage. Yes, I would agree. You saw me obviously setting it on my under eye area, and what I had to do was I had to use this little Huda Beauty sponge. I got it as part of a set, and I pressed it quite hard into the actual powder itself, and then I pressed fairly hard on my under eye area. Now bear in mind I'm just doing that for review purposes. I would only ever use a loose setting powder on my under eye area because the particles are a lot larger. It fills in any lines under the eyes, whereas the pressed powder doesn't necessarily do that. It's got a more softer, cleaner finish. You won't necessarily be able to get it completely shoved in exactly the same way as you can with a loose setting powder. Now bear something in mind, I don't have any fine lines, I don't have any wrinkles or anything like that, so for me to struggle, it says a lot. Now it says 12-hour shine control, and this is where things steadily started to fall apart, you guys. Now bear in mind I am comparing it to this, which I gave a 10 out of 10, and I had very high expectations for this, knowing that it was a kind of reformulation of that. That was luminous matte, this one is airbrushed matte, and I have been testing this out with matte foundations. Now the two foundations I've been trying it out with is the one I've got on my face right now, which is the NYX Make 'em Wonder foundation. This is a soft matte foundation, and the Givenchy Prism Libre matte foundation. I've been using it with both, and I've also tested it out on my face without any primer and without any setting spray, because I wanted to see what it performed like without any additional help. So what happened was, firstly, like I've already said, it does not leave a velvety soft finish. Despite the fact that I've applied so much powder to my face, it still feels kind of tacky. And what I noticed was that at about hour 4 is nothing, right? My face feels kind of sticky. It feels kind of tacky. Like the way that your face feels when the natural oils start to break through from your foundation and it starts to feel not so soft anymore. I had also started to get a little bit shiny, and I'm confused because I've got a matte foundation on and I supposedly have a matte powder on top. I am not the kind of person, for all the years that I've been wearing makeup, that ever walks around with a shiny face. It just doesn't happen to me anymore. I know my face, I know my skin, I know my makeup. Makeup is so much more advanced nowadays. For a makeup product that is considered matte, and for it to start looking shiny, and especially if it's reformulated and it costs £32, I would expect it to do exactly what it says and stay matte. By the time it got to hour 10, my whole face was shiny, you guys. Shiny, 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 shiny. Not in your face shiny, but very glowy, and not what I wanted or expected. This actually performed better than this one. Now what happened was, because of the fact that my skin was starting to look shiny, my makeup started to transfer. This foundation is non-transferable. So how the hell is my foundation transferring now? Because it has been mixed in with this. So they say 12-hour shine control. You guys, it got to hour 4. And like I said, I didn't just try it once. I tried it a couple of times with 2 different types of foundations, purposely using matte foundations to ensure that they do remain matte all day, and they did not. So to round up this review, some of their claims are met, but the majority of the reasons that people would purchase this in order for it to stay matte on the face, it does not meet that at all. And that, I would say, is the #1 criteria of this powder. Shockingly give this a 5 out of 10. This is not what I expected of a reformulated product. I don't understand how it is managing to make my foundation shiny, how it makes my face feel sticky. Even now, and I've had it on my face for less than an hour, I can feel slight stickiness on my forehead, and that is because I didn't apply that much of this on my forehead. I applied more on the rest of my face. So what is the product trying to tell me? More applied means that it'll work better? It still breaks down irrespective of whether I've got a lot of it or not. And don't even get me started on my under eye area, you guys. The creasing happened after about 2 hours, and I was like, what the hell is this? Again, I've been using makeup long enough to know how to keep my under eye area crease free, and that is because of this, funnily enough. I don't understand how they have still managed to mess up recreating the loose powder in a pressed version. To say that I'm disappointed is an understatement. This Charlotte Tilbury one is one that I'm going to still keep on using, because this one just does not cut it. They say that it lasts up to 12 hours. It barely makes it to hour 4. And like I said, on my under eye area, oh my god, the creases. And I was like, what the hell is this? Absorbs excess shine. My foot, it does. And another thing to remember, it's January right now. It's cold. All right. I'm in the UK. I'm in London. It's cold. It's rainy. It's dry. It's grey. It is not warm whatsoever. You can imagine that if this was not able to control shine in the winter, how the hell is it going to work for me in the summer? Under my eyes, it does not give me that brightening effect. If anything, because the color is a little bit warmer, it actually just kind of looks like my natural skin color. Another thing to remember is that I haven't got oily skin. I've got normal to combination skin, and in winter, as it stands at the moment, my skin is very much normal. So I can't even say that it's my skin that is causing these problems. It is this. So like I said, 5 out of 10. This is not something that I would recommend. £32 is a lot of money for something that I would class as poor quality. I can't even call it mediocre, because mediocre means it's so-so and okay. It's not so-so okay. It's actually terrible. I am incredibly unimpressed by this. The joke is, when you initially touch it, it feels lovely and soft, and it feels great when you apply it on your face. Lo and behold, it don't take long for everything starts to go shiny, sticky, and it starts to break down the rest of my makeup. This is not something that would last long term. This is not a long wearing product either. It's probably just something I'll use to set my eyeshadow primer, and that's about it. So there's not really much else I can say, you guys. This is something that I'm just not impressed with at all. 5 out of 10. I would have expected a lot more from Huda Beauty's reformulation. The brand has yet again flopped. I know many of you were hoping that this would be a great product, but in my opinion, based on my experience of using this, it's just really not. So unfortunately, the Easy Bake Pressed Powder, the brand new airbrush matte version, it's a pass from me. I would not recommend it, and I will continue to use my Charlotte Tilbury one. So that's it for my review for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you actually tried it since it launched, or are you gonna just give it a pass? Let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, I hope you guys are wonderful, gorgeous and fabulous, and I'll see you all in the next video.